minutes for backbench speeches. Bob Blackman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and a pleasure to follow the honourable gentleman from Sheffield South East, the chairman of the Select Committee. He and I have spent many happy hours poring over this particular draft bill in the first place, and indeed going forward on different reports. Essentially, there are four separate categories that fit within the Building Safety Bill on remediation. First, where everyone agrees, without question, is tall buildings 7 stories above and removing the cladding and making the building safe. The second, of course, is the buildings of 6 stories and below, where the government came up with this forced loan scheme, and I'm delighted to see the death of that forced loan scheme because I could never see how it was going to work. So that's good news. But then the other two categories are the tall buildings and fire safety defects, and then the buildings of 6 stories and below and fire safety defects. The reality is that we can all agree that the one set of people that should not have to pay for remedying this are the leaseholders, because they never designed them, they never knew anything about them before they moved in. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, this scandal still goes on. Only last week, a planning application was presented to the Planning Committee at the Hamlets of 52 stories with only one staircase as a route to escape. So the reality is the building industry doesn't show any signs of actually correcting what has been done. So we've got to correct it. Now, I take my honourable friend's remarks from the dispatch book seriously. I look forward to the amendments that are going to be moved in the other place that I hope we can then debate here. But I have to say, these are very complex areas indeed. There are immense questions to be answered. I well remember when we debated the Fire Safety Bill and became the Fire Safety Act, we were told protecting leaseholders should not be done then. Wait for the Building Safety Bill. Then here we are, right now. And here is the crunch issue. Leaseholders up and down the country have received enormous bills. Enormous bills. Some have made arrangements to pay. Some have even paid them. What we're told is, tough. You've paid them and you won't be compensated as a result. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, if we had moved these amendments in the Fire Safety Act, we'd have protected those leaseholders, and we failed to do so. I have said to the Secretary of State I welcome his commitment to resolve this particular issue. But I trust that when we come to these amendments on remediation, we'll do two things. One is we will retrospectively put a date on what happens. It is not going to be acceptable that we wait till this bill becomes law and we give those unscrupulous individuals who may bill the leaseholders in between now and the bill becoming law, which is outrageous. The other issue, which I think is terribly important in this whole process, is that at some stage, in all these buildings we're talking about, someone signed off that these were in accordance with regulations. Insurance covers that particular aspect, so here's an alternative solution. Given that insurers insured the people that signed these buildings off, and they clearly were not actually in accordance with the regulations at the time, let's make claims against the insurance companies who still exist, who could be made to pay for this remediation. That would be a much better solution than either the taxpayer paying or robbing the leaseholders. That would at least give us some protection. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, I welcome the government amendments that have been put today. I welcome the conversion there has been in the department to what the Select Committee said in the first place, and we're moving progress. We're almost there, where every single one of our recommendations has been endorsed. We've only got a little way to go, so we look forward to that happening, and indeed having a bill that we can all be proud of and protects leaseholders and protects the industry for the future.